Good morning, everyone. How are you? All right, question of the day today is, what is your favorite type of weather? And I put this question because I'll be honest, weather and me, we've had some arguments the last couple of days. I'm a little disappointed in it, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Kenny, good morning. Heather, good morning. Heather says, for question of the day, my favorite weather is rainy weather where you can sit inside with a blanket. See, I love cozy weather. It's so nice. Let's see, Dawn, summer, going for walks. Very nice. Aaron, good morning. Let's see. Scrolling down. Maylin, good morning, Maylin. Let's see. Make sure I'm like going back and forth here. Let's see, Rose, good morning from Canada. I bet you guys are getting snow. We're not getting any snow. But yes, it's also Canada, so there's always snow. Welcome. Let's see, Liz, hope to catch up soon. Sounds good. Emily, good morning. She says, morning, Emily. My favorite type of weather is New England fall day, 55 degrees, sunny, but a slight chill. Emily, that is incredibly specific, and I love it, and I am here for it. I love that so much. Let's see, freezing here in Canada. Yep. Let's see, Brooke, good morning. Favorite type of weather is crisp fall weather, sunny but cool at the same time. I love it. Let's see, Liz says, I love sunny, warm weather. In the UK, it doesn't get extremely hot. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, see, we're in Texas, so it gets a little toasty here. Let's see. I'm trying not to miss anyone. Ev, good morning, Ev. Kenny says, question of the day, my favorite weather is 85 degrees with 33% humidity, so my bones don't ache and I can move around. See, I like it. See, I'm realizing as much as I don't like living in the Texas heat, I don't think that I could, like, I'd love to live in Montana, but when it gets to be the colder, drier weather here in Texas, like, my skin is just angry. And so I'm like, maybe high humidity is what I need. Let's see, Liz says, maybe driving home soon, catch up when I get home. Sounds good. Let's see, Brooke and Lisa, good morning. Let's see, scroll down. Trey says, pleasant to warm sunshine with clear skies is my favorite kind of weather. Sometimes it has white clouds. I love spring and fall, but I don't like the heat and cold. See, heat is probably what I dislike the most. Obviously, I like a nice good day, but I also like it when it rains, but not like everything's flooding rain, like it all. Let's see. Phobic of thunder and lightning. Yeah, that would do it. We had a lightning strike that was like literally 2 blocks away, and we immediately heard the thunder, and it was so loud, it sent everybody in the house like, thanks for that, Emily. Hang on, hop down, let me catch up. Let's see, except for the violent booming types. Yeah, they get really loud down here. Let's see, Carol, good morning. Love it when it snows, but we don't get much where I live anymore. Yeah, I feel you on that one, Carol. Sherry, good morning. Let's see. Hi, Lily, so glad you're here. Let's see, sound? No sound? Lost all your sound? Really? Has everybody lost sound? It shows good on my end. You sound great? Okay. Yeah, for some reason, oh, it's you. Okay, I was just like, wait, what? The bar says green. It says I'm okay. Mona, hello. Let's see. Currently dealing with a head cold slash flu, so this is welcome happy. Oh, Lily, I hope you feel better soon. No, it's fine. Okay, all right, we're good. We're good. Okay, let's see. Shannon, hello, Shannon. Angela, hello. Sound was off, but I turned it up. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Let's see. Mona, make sure to not miss anyone. Alex, good morning. Minty, good morning. UK weather, I love the rain, but my favorite is a cold day, no sunshine. I melt in heat and snow hates me. I feel like I would hate snow more if I lived in a place that got it a lot. Let's see, Natalie, good morning. Yana, good morning. Kelly, sounds good. Thanks for popping in. Let's see, Durbin, good morning. Oh, you speaker, but it's failed me. Oh no, Lisa. Let's see. Nope, I'm good. Oh, so, okay. Oh, for the sound. Gotcha. I said I found my phone for Sam. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I think I caught up. If I missed anyone, I apologize. But yes, weather, man. Okay, those of you that have an iPhone, have you found that your weather report on the weather app for iPhone is like usually just not correct at all? Because according to my iPhone, and we find this because Steve is an Android guy, so we have two different apps that we use for weather. And like yesterday, I swear my phone was telling me it was gonna be snowing and it was gonna be awesome. And I was like, woo, because the kids are actually home today anyway, because the schools closed because of ice. But there is not a single snowflake to be found. And I gotta be honest, I'm a little salty. I had a Samsung before, but at the time there were features that only iPhone had for Instagram. And yes, I use Instagram for this, but at the time I was also doing some social media work for another company and I needed those features, so I had to switch to an iPhone, but I don't know. Weather app thing is BS, although the temperature is good. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Right, Durbin? Okay. Let's see, Kenny's question today, my favorite weather is 85 degrees with 3% humidity, so my bones don't ache. I love it. Let's see, Trey says, I'm in Georgia. The weather is sunny on this very first day of February. There may not be a shadow. Oh, for Groundhog Day, planning on watching, oh, with Bill Murray. That is a good movie. Let's see. iPhone said clear. Oh, wait, I already read that. Let's see, hi, Caddy, sounds good. Yeah, it's possible. I did not start this page on stream. No, don't trust my weather app anymore. I was right, I know, that's what it was. Like, little Steve even woke up in the middle of the night, thought he saw snow because there was ice on the neighbor's roof, but there actually wasn't. But I was so sure, like, we just needed to be like 5 degrees colder because we got all the rain, we have all the moisture, and really love my Samsung, yeah. Hi, Annette. But it's just not cold enough. So instead, it's just a wet, cold, rainy day here. There's not even that much ice. They probably didn't need to cancel school, but you know, they gotta be careful. Let's see, Marcy says, my favorite weather is fall, warm days, and cool nights. See, I like that. I like a good, cozy weather. But because I don't live in an area where there's regular snow, I also really enjoy, like, honestly, we haven't had snow since we moved into this house, and we've been here for a couple years. And I feel like the kids would be so thrilled to have snow in their own backyard, because where we lived before, we didn't have a backyard. TV's usually wrong too. I know, right? Oh, that has satellite maps. Ooh, which one is that one? Because that sounds interesting. Spring, new beginnings. I love it. I think as of right now, I would take the warmer weather we have in the negative past. Oh no, we've been hovering like right at like 32-ish. 10 inches in Michigan right now. See? I just want one day of snow, good snowman snow, and then I know it'll melt for a couple of days, but I want it for the kids. Who am I kidding? I want it for me too, although it works out well for you guys, because I'll be perfectly honest, if it had snowed and we had a legitimate snow day, I would have canceled stream, mostly because we don't get snow that often, and I would have wanted to play with the kids. So I would have been like, okay, we're gonna postpone until Friday. Anyway, well, got it in the App Store. Okay, cool. So let's see, announcements. First of all, if you missed it yesterday, I posted the video for the Artex versus Ohuhu alcohol marker portrait tone set. So if you've been curious about that, that is up We'll set up on the website because I'm used to talking about the color charts. But no, that is up on YouTube. So it's like a 20-minute long video, including the color charts for both portrait sets. Those are up there. Now, I know there's much larger sets. So I don't know how many people would find those charts useful, but I made them because I needed them for the video and they're there. Other quick reminder, this is the new sticker that is in the Etsy store. It is quickly running out. There was only like 10 of them in the store to begin with, and they are almost gone. So if you've been wanting to snag one of these, those are in the Etsy store. I'm putting out some orders today, so get them while they're hot. Yeah, so this page, I originally did just this flower on a reel, and it got a lot of traction really fast. Like people really liked it, and I was really surprised. Anyway, so I was coloring the rest, and then I put it on my stories. All right, Lisa, I'm sure I've missed somebody, so I apologize. Hi, Net. But anyway, so I put a poll on my stories if we wanted to have me do this live, and the majority of them said yes. So I was like, it seems like a good option, because if you recall last stream, I was saying that February was gonna start today. But after doing some checking, I realized I was incorrect, and they're waiting to start until this weekend. So February starts Friday. All of the images, I will try and make up a list, because there hasn't been one made yet that lists all of the, or at least not one that's been released yet. So I will add a list to the description of my video, or maybe put it in the community tab, of all of the artists and illustrators that are gonna be participating, because the best discounts for the coloring pages are either going to be that weekend or the first week of. It's up to the artists how they want to price their discounts on their pages, but from what I gather, the majority of them are going to have their best discounts on the weekend or the first week of it. So it starts Friday the 3rd. Things are supposed to go up in the Etsy stores at midnight Mountain Time. But those that are in different time zones may get a little confused. So just keep an eye out. I'll try, like I said, I'll try and put together a list today, so everybody can make sure that they're following the correct stores. Watch the comparison for your first thing this morning and ordered the sticker as soon as your notice went up. I saw that yours went in the mail yesterday, Ev, so hopefully, and I put in a couple of extra things in there too. Right, Brooke? It's gonna be so good. I'll have 2 images. I know multiple artists put out a couple of them. I know Monia Gates has 2. Jennifer Zimmerman has 1 or 2. I can't remember. I'll have to double check. It is, yes. Here, I'll show you mine. Hang on, I've got them printed out in this little baggie here. Hold on. There. So these are my 2 that are going up, and we're going to be coloring both of these on stream. So this one's going to be first. This one's gonna be first, and then we're gonna do this one at the end of the month. And during those streams, there'll be giveaways as well. So keep an eye out when I make the list. Keep an eye out, mark those stores, you know, favorite them, whatever you need to do, because all those sales will go up too. So if you favorite the stores, or you like follow the stores, then you'll get notified when those things go on sale. So anyway, loads of cool stuff coming up. It's not gonna be like a streamathon weekend or so where it's all like, we're all crammed in and it's like for 3 or 4 days and it's just complete chaos. No, it's going to be, sounds good, Yana. Pencils for Friday, I don't remember what I put, but in the, because I did schedule the posts, excuse me, I'll hiccup. I did schedule the streams already, so each of the stream lists what pencils. I think one I'm gonna do Faber-Castell, and one I'm gonna do Prismacolor. I know we're doing Polychromos today, but that was just because at the time when I did this on my own, I was like, oh, I want to use Polychromos, and then now I'm streaming it, because I usually try and do staggered different pencil brands, and I didn't do that. I could always switch one of them to Black Widows. I haven't done Black Widows in a while. Good morning, Della. Good morning, Catherine. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming up. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to tell you, but I can't think of it now. It'll come to me like tomorrow or something. All right, so what I did is I specifically left this flower here, like I was working on this, and you'll also see that I was creating a sort of drop shadow effect on all of this. Oh my gosh. My plan is to only color 1 page of that. And as much as I love Johanna's illustrations, there is a reason for that. And that is because, a lot of these flowers are actually the same, which is fine. I mean, that's just the way some artists do it, but I feel like I'm just coloring the exact same thing, which I technically am on this side. So I probably won't color this side because it would look cool when it's done, but I feel like it would start to get a little tedious by the second half of the page. So my plan is just to color this one eventually. Not that I don't have, you know, enough hiring, not that I don't have enough, you know, work in progresses to do. Sounds good, Alex. Has a new, wait, hold on, scroll on. So saw the marker review yesterday, and Who has new marker sets art series, and the new chisel tip look awesome. Oh, cool, I didn't see that, or maybe I did. I'll have to look. All I know is that the one that I had, yeah, well, because I guess the Who has more. I was thinking the Arctics. I was really disappointed that the brush tip portrait tones weren't available, but I know that in the end, I chose the Arctics, but I really was disappointed with the fact that they said, oh, it's a 36 set, but then they included 2 blender markers and counted that as the 36. So I feel like it's a little bit false advertising, if that makes sense. But anyway, I digress. I ended up choosing Arctics in the end anyway, and I'll be honest, the smell was the big thing for me, but I am one of those people that can get headaches from those, and so I was like, okay, in the long run, this one's probably better. So I know at one point I listed in the Instagram post which colors I used. I'll be honest, I was kind of like all over the place with it, so I'm trying to remember, and I think it was these ones here. I know I added like a couple straggler ones. Different color variations of the flowers? Yeah, go for it. So we've got some, oh, if you were doing the whole thing. It's not necessarily about the colors so much as the shapes. I didn't realize that the shapes were duplicated until I came over to do this flower. And I was just like, oh, wait a minute, these petals are really similar. And then I looked and I was like, it's the exact same petals. So, yeah, so like these are the same and these 3 are the same. And I was like, oh, okay. But let's see, these 2 butterflies or moths, however you color them, these are the same. This is not. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to you. I could just do this small section and be like, ta-da. Right, I know, they're so nice. There is new skin set as well. Yeah, the smell. And I think part of that is the price. Like there's got to be something either in the quality of the ink, or maybe there's some extra kind of like binder in it. Oh my gosh, I find it hilarious that it held that just because it's Dick Blake. Who came up with the name for that art store? I never feel comfortable saying it. I always want to call it the Blick store. Anyway, but the point of doing it today, broke down and got the new Who sets. The barrels are tapered. Takes some getting used to. I like the new chisel, but wish they focus on refills instead of new marker lines, right? I feel like I said, and I'm continually checking with Arteza, trying to see like, okay, when are these refills? So they haven't said that, stop it, Shannon! Yeah, Mr. Blick, Shannon! There you go. I like that, Lisa. I like that. I mean, because you guys know me, like I am all Johanna all the time. Speaking of which, not speaking of which, because it's not Johanna. Maggie and Trios. If you are not following her coloring accounts, you should. She posted a little bit about the new book. It's coming out in March. Oh gosh, I have a cool project I want to share with you guys that's also coming out in March. It's just gonna have to wait. Anyway, so let's go ahead. Yeah, refills, that's what it needs to be. And especially for Arteza, because I mean, the Arteza sets are, for the portrait sets, are $75. Now, quality of the marker, I feel like the price is worth it, but they need the refills for something that expensive. I would feel less pained replacing markers, but that's the other thing. It's like, do any of the Who or Arctics? I don't think they do. They don't have, you can't buy individual of those. Like they're not open stock. I forgot, I didn't add that part to the video. Are they open stock on Blick or anything? Oh no, Rinka. Right, it is flying today. I don't know, that's a good question, Sherry. These were the first Who's that I ever owned. Also, can I just say, like, both of those names are so funny. We got Who, and ticks. I always feel like I'm a pirate when I talk about the ticks. Also, I want like a vowel in somewhere in the R and the ticks. I know there's an A at the beginning, but my OCD won't let it be. But yeah, I'm not sure about if all of them do. I assume that if one does, they all do, but you know what happens when you assume. They all do? Okay. All right, so we're gonna start in on this flower. Like I said, I filmed a reel for this. One of the things about the reel, I don't know if you noticed, it's like one of those things where, you know, you're your own worst critic, is I had like a light glare on the flower, so it wasn't as vibrant as I would have liked. Oh, interesting, Durban. But I wonder, when you say you're severely allergic to alcohol, like, are you allergic to rubbing alcohol, or is it mostly like drinking alcohol? Okay, so let's start with red violet. And what I'm gonna do is, there's the lines on the petals, and I am using those as kind of the guideline for where I should put lines on here. Because that's kind of what I did throughout it, is I just kind of followed the extra lines. See, my instinct is to like speed this up and like just do one petal and move on, but the whole point was to color one of these flowers live. So that is what we're gonna do. It may take us a minute to get through, because there's a reason that I only have, you know, this much colored so far, but you know, it's a big flower. Oh, all alcohol, interesting. So do they have to use, like, if you're at the doctor and they're wanting to like draw blood or give you a shot or whatever, do they have to use something different to sanitize your arm? Is it like iodine, or, of course, I don't know if there's alcohol in iodine. I'm not a doctor. Is it really, Lisa? Oh, who is Hawaiian for angry? Oh, awesome, Brooke. Oh, interesting. Iodine, yeah. Excuse me. That's hilarious. Well, I'm angry that it didn't snow. Like, literally, I was so tempted to set an alarm for 3 to see if it was going to snow, because that's when the weather report said it was going to start snowing. And it didn't. Apple's playing with my heart. Also, I do have words on stream up today, so fingers crossed it decides to work, because it's not fun when it doesn't work. Although I suppose reels don't really express just how long something takes. Maybe I should start doing more, excuse me, more of the videos with the timer so people can see how much real time it takes. There we go. But I did have fun with that video, though. It's one I've been meaning to do for a while. Right, they do. Thank you, Kelly. Today's nail polish is not this one. This one is Kerr, the Illuminating Nail Concealer. In here, by, there we go, by London Town. They've also got like a pink tinted one. And then I put this on top of it, you know, aside from a regular base coat and a deep coat, top coat. This one is Moonstone by ILNP. But yeah, I was going for something more natural-ish rather than my bright blue. So I begged to come in and use a oh, kitty. Recommended you to my fellow employees who covered. She just started coloring. That's awesome. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to give him a fair rating, just because when I had done it the first time, when I had used them the first time, I was just like, well, these are awful, but I already had a migraine that day, and so I was like, well, that's not really being fair to the markers. Oh, awesome, Ev! What's going on? What'd she say? Oh, yeah, if it's just... Yeah. So if it's just for yourself, that's okay. I've done that before where I've scanned in things and then reprinted them on paper that I wanted to. But yeah, if you're not wanting to destroy your book, as long as it is strictly for yourself and you're not distributing it, it's okay. Because like I've done things where I've made like scanned them and print them out and made them of different things. Like I did a wood burning craft for a page from Lost Ocean. I also took an enchanted forest design and carved a pumpkin with the owl. So yes, I have made copies of them for crafts and projects for myself. But yeah, as long as you're not redistributing them, that's fine. She's talked about that before. There we go. But yeah, for the most part, hi Robin. I scan 95% of my books because I normally dislike the paper, but I don't ever get, yeah, exactly. Well, and sometimes that's the case, is you're worried about like ruining your page or anything. It's basically the equivalent of printing off multiples of a PDF. Okay, so we're still just using red violet. This flower is a little bit bigger than the one that I did on Instagram, but we're just gonna roll with it. Hi, Ine, welcome. Okay, yeah, this is a bigger flower, but it's okay. It's all right. We're gonna be using a few colors here, but it'll be nice for you guys to see how it kind of builds up. But yeah, I had misspoke about when February starts, so I was like, you know, I need some. It was going to be either this or diamond painting, but I was hoping to catch up on my diamond painting, but I just haven't had time, because next time I diamond paint, I want to, or diamond paint on stream, I want it to be because we're finishing a diamond painting together. So that's the goal. So basically this is the darkest pencil for the flower. No, actually. So this one I kind of use in conjunction with it, which is magenta, but at some point we're also going to be using the, is it chrome oxide green? Hang on. This one. The deep cobalt green. So no, it is not the darkest one, but it's one of the darkest ones. Nice. Which one are you diamond painting? Are you doing a Diamond Art Club, another brand, Dreamer Designs? Which one are you working on? I just straight up haven't had time to just sit down. It's like reading a book. I have been trying to read A Court of Silver Flames for ages, and I'm on like chapter 2. Like, it's so much easier when I can do an audiobook. Sounds good, Rinka. And honestly, I did try doing the audiobook. I decided to give her a fair shake. So let's do magenta. But I just could not handle the narrator that was narrating it. It was just, everything she was doing was so exaggerated. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it at all. I did, however, finish book 4, the A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I get why everybody says it's basically a Hallmark Christmas special. Like, legitimately, that's what it was. So I'm reading through. I'm actually like reading the last book. I'm intrigued to find out why Nesta's so angry all the time. Oh, awesome! Hi, Teresa. Welcome. But yeah, finding time to read is very different. But it is nice because I'm reading it on Kindle. So like yesterday, it was super cold in the house and I wanted to go lay down. So I got in bed and got under the blankets and like pulled the blankets up over my head and was just like laying in bed reading under the blankets. I'm like, well, I'm 13 again. Little Steve came in the room and he's like, Mommy? I'm like, I'm fine, I'm reading. He was very confused as to what was happening. Hi, Della. It was just so cold. I live in Texas. I fell asleep reading on my Kindle last night, woke to a dead Kindle. Oh Love a mild snowstorm. Love feeling all cozy in my house watching the snow blow by. Right, Deborah? That. See, all I'm asking for is one day. One day of snow, Mother Nature. Is it too much to ask? I mean, honestly. I would love it. It just seemed so perfect. The kids already had the day off. Like, it's been cold and dreary. Like, snow would have been perfect. I got my Kickstarter backed book, Trusted the Emeralds. Yeah, Heather. Okay, I'm excited when I get the chance to start it. I saw somebody doing a cover for it. I looked on Audible and it had like the Spanish Audible version. For some reason, maybe I'm just not paying enough attention to Brandon Sanderson. I didn't know that one was coming out. Is he like, is it people that backed the Kickstarter the only ones that are getting the book first? Like, when is that coming out for the general public? Because I saw it and I love Brandon Sanderson. Like, I'm going through on Audible just because I like to have something to listen to when I'm at the house by myself. Otherwise, it's just too quiet. And so I'm re-listening to the Mistborn series. I've read the Stormlight Archive like multiple times. My brother's going through it right now. Like, I'm curious about it. Oh no, Lisa. While reading Kindles when it falls on your face, right? -45? Oh my gosh, no. Like, I watch those people that like live in those kind of temperatures and they're like, oh yeah, we have a sauna and an outdoor shower. And I'm like, are you insane? Using cat as a book prop. I love it. The funny thing is because where I was, like with the blankets, I had them pulled taut over my head. So I was able to like prop the bottom of my phone up on me, and then the tautness of the blanket held the phone up, so I didn't even actually have to hold it. It was the laziest reading I've ever done. Oh, he has 4 books. He has it on his site for those who did not. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad he has it there. The other 3 are released over this year. Okay, well, what's this one about? Like, it looks interesting. I like the cover of it, and I like Brandon Sanderson's books, like, a lot. Called The Last Flight. It's about a woman trying to escape from a husband. It got my attention right at the beginning. Ooh. Do we know if it has a happy ending? I need happy endings in my book. Like, you know that movie from the 70s, Love Story? There's that song that's like the theme song for it. And so every now and then it'll come on the radio, you know, when it's like, you know, a throwback songs or whatever. And it's like, I can't listen to that song without feeling sad. And I'm just like, oh, poor movie. I mean, I know it's not real, you know, but still. 28 here in North Texas. It is, according to my weather app, if we can trust it, it is 34, cold and rainy here. That's what that is. Like, I think yes. See, and I've only seen it once, but it's stuck with me, man. I'm trying to remember though, is that movie like based off of like a Romeo and Juliet storyline? I just remember seeing it when I was younger and it was just so sad. I definitely don't want to watch it again, but I was trying to remember, you know, it's got that same kind of idea, but I couldn't remember if it was My Vibe and Sunshine. Nice. I couldn't remember if it was like based off Romeo and Juliet, which I'm telling you, it's like I've read it. I've watched all the movies. You know that Romeo and Juliet ends up the same every time, but it's like when I watched Titanic, I want it to end differently every time. Like, oh, maybe they won't hit the iceberg this time. Yeah, okay. The movie just magically changes. I want it to magically change. Also, yes, I know this flower takes forever, but you know, sometimes you gotta do that. I think it's supposed to be a modern day Romeo and Juliet. Okay. Finally in the 20s today. It's been in the teens for the last 2 days. Oh my gosh. Wait, they can both fit in the door? Wait, who can fit in the door? Did I miss something? Ah, nice, Aaron. Okay, so now I'm gonna use pink carmine, and we're basically just doing kind of what we did before and going over everything, but we're dragging it down just a little bit further. And I'm going over these little things here because they're too fiddly to try and go around, and we're gonna use gel pen on them anyway. Never having to say you're sorry was half the truth. Yeah. It's just so sad. I don't know. It's like scary movies. Like, I cannot knowingly watch. I mean, I have in the past, and which is why I know I can't now. Like, horror movies, scary movies, I can't. And so, like, movies that are, like, just at their core sad, I'm just like, this doesn't have a happy ending. I don't want to watch this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. Not really sure what it's about. Watched a YouTube video he did with Mark Rober recently, kind of talking about something, but he says it's very highly reviewed and a very well-liked book. Dang, man, I'm so interested now. I wonder when they're going to come out with Audible. I haven't, although I've read the Mistborn series. I didn't read what is it? It's like the Lost Metal or Alloy of Metal or something. There's a couple of those books. Basically, they take place in the Mistborn universe or realm, but I didn't hear good things about the story. So, like, I'm hesitant to spend an Audible credit on it. It's like, well, I don't know. Let's see. Should call my dad and holler. It blew out. There's a big... That's hilarious, Deborah. Movies are entertainment, and I read spoilers to make sure it won't be... Oh, speaking of which, I was so proud of myself. So I don't know how many of you, I don't know how many UKers I have here or how many of you have BritBox, but yesterday I binge watched Karen Peary, which has the girl, I cannot remember her name. I know, Lauren Lyle? I think it's Lauren Lyle. Anyway, she plays Marcelly on Outlander. Anyway, it's a, like, detective, you know, whodunit kind of mystery. And I was so proud of myself because, hi, Robin. I did not Google who the murderer was. I kept guessing right up until, you know, like the last episode when it started, you know, being obvious who the murderer was. And I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, they kept me guessing. It was good. I really liked it. I don't know. Has anybody else here watched Karen Peary? It's like 3 episodes. Like, the season is 3 episodes, but it's like a mini series. And each episode is pretty long. Like, I think almost I don't remember exactly how long, but I think it's almost the equivalent of a movie. Karen Peary. P-I-R-I-E. It's funny. They even make a joke where, like, not a good time to be named Karen is what they said. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, it's really good. Or is it just Peary? It might just be Peary, yeah. But either way, sorry, I realize I'm moving it out of the screen. Also trying to get, like, so I can get these flicks in here. I know it kind of looks like a hot mess, but it'll get there. It's all about, you know, the individual layers and whatnot. Let's see. Let's go ahead and use, we need beige red. Hi, Aned. Watch mostly Acorn and BritBox, yeah. Well, I had gotten BritBox initially because I wanted to watch Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 edition, which I hadn't really watched before. And I got that, and so I just got like a week of it, like a trial of it, and then I forgot that I had a trial of it. Next thing you know, I've got a whole month. I've canceled it now, but of course I'm just like, well, if I've got a month of it, I might as well, you know, make the most of it. So I was looking at that, and I follow Lauren Lyle on Instagram, and of course, you know, she'd been doing all the promos for it and everything, and I was just like, I might as well watch it. And next thing you know, it's like, you know, 3 hours later. But it was good. I don't know. Like, I don't want to spoil it for anyone because it legitimately, like, kept me guessing the whole time. Like, oh, well, maybe he's the murderer. Maybe he did it. Or maybe she did it. Or, oh, surely that's what happened to them. And, like, I was wrong the entire time. Hi, Christina. Really? See, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. Silent Witness. All 22 seasons. Is it scary or is it like a murder kind of mystery, but like not super scary? Discovered Mrs. Brown's voice hilarious. Vera, I've watched Vera. Hang on, I want to write that down. What is it? It's Silent Witness. Like I said, I have it for a month, and so I was just like, well, I might as well. Silent Witness. All right, I'm gonna check that out. Love, are you being served an oldie but a goodie? Oh no, about a corners team. Okay. Hi, Marina. How are you? Yeah, Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice. I'm watching Fear the Walking Death on Prime. Oh, that sounds terrifying. See, like the last kind of apocalyptic, like zombie-ish movie that I watched was I Am Legend with Will Smith, and it literally like put me into a panic attack. I was like, nope, cannot watch this anymore. Absolutely not. We're gonna grab, if I'm remembering correct, I think I used a little bit of purple as well, not a ton. BritBox, never seen Pride and Prejudice? Oh, it's so good. I think for me, I struggled with the 2005 Pride and Prejudice because like I'm used to watching shows or reading books where the characters take a while to develop. But for me, watching it, they literally, in the movie itself, they talk to each other like 3 or 4 times, a couple sentences, and then they have one fight, but for some reason they're madly in love with one another. I'm like, it's just not believable. Obviously the book explains a lot more, but as a movie, it just wasn't believable. Just like, oh, these characters have seen each other a couple times. Sure, love at first sight, but to stake it all on this guy you've talked to a couple times, and one of those times he yelled at you? Like, that does not seem like a healthy relationship. Pride and Prejudice and zombies? I've heard of that, but I haven't. I haven't seen it. Love the fall, but winter's my favorite season. Love the cold. Right, it's so cozy. Annette says, no rain, no wind, not too hot, not too cold, and plenty of sunshine. See, that sounds perfect. All right, let's use a little bit of our mauve. And you want to know something else that's funny? When I chose these colors yesterday or day before, I did not use my color chart. I just grabbed them. I don't know what that says. I don't know who I am. Hi, Liz. Oh, good. I'm glad you made it home. But yeah, I just found it hard. That, and I've never been a huge fan of Keira Knightley. I think she did okay in Pirates of the Caribbean, but you know, it's like, I mean, I can't really talk. You know, what she does is incredibly difficult. Like, I couldn't memorize all those lines. But as far as like actors and actresses that I enjoy watching over and over, she's not like super high on my list. So I think that's partially the reason also, but also the storyline of, like I said, they've talked to each other a couple times. One of them was yelling at each other. It just does not seem like a healthy way to start a relationship. Go on a picnic first. Don't just scream at each other under some gazebo in the rain. Okay, see, I'm glad I'm not alone. Yeah, see, I think it definitely has its following. Like, there's a few bookstagrammers that I follow that center around like kind of romance novels and everything, and they love the 2005 version. But I'm just like, All right, so we're just using a little bit of mauve. As you can see, it's starting to kind of take shape for what it's eventually going to be. But, you know, it looks pretty different than that one at this point. Really, Lisa? Except for the dad. Okay, yeah, the dad in it I did really like. I know, Ev, it's crazy. There you go. Which ones is it? Which ones are they? That's what I meant. Which ones are they? Okay, I also like kept these pretty sharp just because I want the lines to be kind of visible. So we're gonna add a little bit more of the magenta. I find that I do struggle with the Jane Austen books a little bit. I definitely enjoy the movies better, but I don't know. It's been a while since I love that my inflection was like a question. It's been a while since I've sat down to try and read a Jane Austen, so maybe as an adult, I would be able to focus on it a little bit more. Ooh, what is it? Is Emily Bronte, I believe? Wuthering Heights, that movie that's coming out about her. I've been intrigued. I think that I might try and see that when it comes out. I don't know how historically accurate it is, so I mean, I guess we'll see, but does anybody have any plans to go see that? getting dark outside and starting. Oh wait, you're in the UK, and I was like, wait a minute, it's getting dark out. It's only 10:43 in the morning. When it gets dark out at 10:43 here, that usually means there's a tornado heading our way, and you know, duck and cover. Northanger Abbey is next, but I like them all. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not. If it's that's why I can't even watch Up, because the beginning of it is just so sad. Like, there's some cartoons, they get me. Are you kidding me? Like Toy Story, what is it? Toy Story 2, where you meet Jessie. Is it 2 or 3 where you meet Jessie? I can't remember. But it has this scene where her kid is slowly forgetting about her. And she's growing up, and you're just like, oh dear God. What is it? It's with that song, like, When Somebody Loves Me, When Somebody Loves Me. Da, 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 da. No, I'm just over here going, It's probably more so because, like, I see my own kids growing up, and then I go, my over-exaggerated cry, but also not really, because deep down I am. Hi, Cece, welcome. 17th and 18th century just aren't my thing. No, that's fair. That's fair. It definitely has a different pace. Absolutely. Right? Yes, Leslie, those two right there. Historical fiction is my favorite genre. Have you watched Poldark? So good. Also, the main actor who plays the good-looking dwarf, Keely. Oh my gosh, she's so handsome. Seriously. You have and loved it. See? I can't remember. Has that one finished, or are there more seasons of it coming out? It's like when you watch a show, but you're not sure when it's coming out. Then you're like browsing on its platform, and you're just pleasantly surprised by like, ooh, there's a new season. Like, you didn't know it was coming, but it's just like a pleasant present that you discover that there is actually more of it. All right, we're getting to the point soon where we're going to use the blender pencil. Oh, we're not quite there yet. We've done a number of layers on these petals, but it's almost like it's giving the petals texture. Right? Poldark is so good. I mean, I don't want to do any spoilers, but there are some life choices that he makes that makes me fairly disappointed in him. But, you know, since the real actor's probably not that way. Sanditon and Gilded Age are good too. Oh, I feel like the Sanditon I'm not familiar with, but I feel like the Gilded Age, I feel like that sounds familiar. Are those ones on BritBox? I don't know. I love me a good movie. And when I'm in between like books, like I don't have any new Audible books to listen to right now. I've got 2 credits because one of them I just straight up returned, which was the A Court of Silver Flames, because I just could not. I tried, I really did, but I could not get on board, and I was sad that I had wasted a credit on that. But I was able to return it, so now I've got, you know, a couple credits sitting, waiting for me to use them, and I don't know what to use them on. I did read all the Poldark. Wait, there's Poldark books? How different are they than the show? Started to be a soap opera. That's fair. That's fair. Hi, Aaron. Okay, so now I'm using one of my ultra rare full blenders that aren't actually broken, but you can find the pencil versions of this online as well. But we're gonna go ahead and use the blender. I'm gonna try not to get it on this middle part because that will affect the kind of color we can lay down on those petals. Yeah, I didn't know he was in book form either. Okay, so I'm gonna color it in the same direction, or I'm gonna use the blender, sort of, you know, up on the edge, but for the most part, it's gonna go in the same direction that the line strokes are. I swear, sometimes I try to think of words and they just don't come out very well, except for like the very edge. I need to try and get as close to the edge as possible, but it's definitely going to darken up for us. The reason I try to avoid areas that I haven't colored yet with the blender is because it lays down a, you know, kind of a waxy top on it, and the color does not stick as well to it. So I'm trying to avoid areas that I haven't colored yet that are going to get color. Currently sitting with 10 Audible credits. Shh, don't tell Emily, you gotta read something. get more into Brit comedies. Love my BritBox script. Had to eliminate some of my subscription. BritBox was the only one I have left. Well, we'll always keep, like, we have Disney Plus, Amazon, obviously Amazon, because, you know, we've got Amazon Prime and it just comes with it. But we've never gotten rid of Netflix. The kids love Disney Plus, but those are really the only ones that we keep on a regular basis. Every now and then I will get like a single month. Oh, you know what I need to do? Because I still haven't seen the new Game of Thrones show. Every now and then I will get a single month of a subscription just so I can binge watch the show that I want to see. Been buying Kindle books and reading. Okay, that's fair. Are you doing only 2 Fae Girls in February? Yes, we're going to do a color lawn at the beginning of the month and then one at the end of the month, and there's going to be giveaways for it as well. But I'm going to pull together a list for you guys that will list all of the illustrators involved in February, because like I said, everybody's going to be doing some deep discounts. Like I can't say for sure because it's up to the individual illustrator, but I would not be surprised if they're anywhere from 40 to 50% off. Like I said, everybody's setting their own prices and we won't know for sure until everybody posts theirs. Pages are going to go up or at least they're supposed to. They should be going up in the Etsy store February 3rd at midnight Mountain Time. That's when they should be. A Place to Call Home is one of the best Brit shows I've ever watched. All right, I feel like, I'm gonna write that one down. I feel like I know that one, but I'm not sure. A Place to Call Home. Now, obviously this flower is taking a while. It probably wouldn't take you as long if you were just coloring it by yourself. So just something to keep in mind. I love it, Ev. And blowing on the screen. Oh no. Oh wait, I already swept it. But I'd be lying if I said that I've done that before myself, or haven't done that before. I've totally done it. All right, so we're gonna use deep cobalt green now. And where the petals are overlapping is where I want to add some of this green. Now, obviously, once we've used the blender, we're gonna start to be limited onto how many layers we can put on this, but we can slowly work at it. When I'm at this kind of stage with the layers, this is when I kind of slow down and really kind of look closely at areas that don't have pencil on them, areas that need a little bit more emphasis, where petals are kind of folded, that kind of tells you where to put the crease. So yeah, sometimes it's kind of nice to just slow down and really look at what you're coloring. And like I said, I do have plans to at least try Words on Stream today, hoping that it works. So if you're interested in that, that is the plan. But yeah, like I said, those new stickers in the shop, those are almost gone. I don't know if or when I'll be doing those ones again. It was sort of a short, limited run. So if you had your eye on them, I'm putting out a couple orders today, but there are a couple left. Exclamation point, Etsy. All right, so I'm just, like I said, I'm just looking where the petals are overlapping. We're just gonna fill that in. Now we're gonna take probably the magenta or the red violet, I don't know which one yet, back over, I went out of line a little bit, back over this once we lay down the green. But what this green is doing is it's helping us to add contrast to these. Thanks for that, Ev. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do all of that there, because this one, the ones that are like all the way in the back and really have petals laying over it are definitely gonna be the ones that have a lot of shadow and darkness to it. Now, obviously this isn't hyper realistic, but it's nice to look at. So that's kind of where I roll it off of. How did you decide upon green? It is complementary to red. So if you are not gonna use any kind of blacks or grays to shade, your complementary colors are gonna be your best bet to get a good color. So that one, yes, is complementary to red. So that is why I chose it. If I had more pine green, I might have chosen pine green, but I kind of like this is the deep cobalt green. I kind of like that it's a cooler kind of shade. But yeah, all about color theory, complementary colors. They are handy. If you are unfamiliar, just as in general, if you're unfamiliar about color theory and are curious, I do have a Let's Talk episode that focused solely on color theory. So if you want to learn more about it, there's a Let's Talk playlist where you can check that out. And if you missed any of my announcements at the beginning, I just posted a new Let's Talk video yesterday for a little battle between the Ohuhu and the Artex markers. Yeah, family, exactly. There we go. So I'm just emphasizing some of the lines on the flowers. We're almost done with this part, then we're going to go back to the red. Now, the flowers don't all have to look identical. I mean, if you picked a couple, you know, flowers, they wouldn't be exactly the same. All right, now let's go ahead and grab, I want to include some of this salmon as well, but we are going to grab the red violet. Hi, Pamela, how are you? Ah, thanks, Melissa. So handy. Yeah, and I know I mentioned Maggie and Torrio. She's got that book coming out in March. If you also want to know more about Maggie, the Let's Talk episode right before the one I posted yesterday, that one is an interview all about Maggie. Like I said, I think I have the link for her book in the description as well, but definitely check her out. And you know what's cool about the book she's releasing this year? There is a, you know how like sometimes you'll look at Johanna's books and you're like, what on earth is that flower? How on earth am I supposed to color it? Well, Maggie has created, the flowers have a little QR code that you can scan, and then it pulls up what the flower is. So all of the flowers are based off actual flowers, and it's gonna have a little guide to go along with it, which I think is pretty cool. All right, giving this a quick little sharpen. Also, I was trying to think, because when I was pulling the link for the Faber-Castells today, is it just me or is $1.99 inexpensive for Faber-Castells? Because it was at $1.99 today when I grabbed it. I was like, huh, I feel like that's lower than it usually is, but I don't know, you guys might remember more than me. I'm also like turning my head a lot because I'm getting like light glare on the petals the more and more layers I add. So I'm like trying to get a good vision of how it looks. But the blender really makes all the difference when you get these kind of dark, vibrant colors. I'm just kind of going over those greens a bit. Oh no, Em. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Well, all I know is that it wouldn't hurt Mother Nature to throw us just a little bit of snow for just a little while. No more of this rain nonsense. I mean, I like a good rainstorm. It's nice and cozy. But if it's gonna be this cold, she could at least do us the courtesy of giving us snow. Okay. How long have we been coloring this flower anyway? It's 10:57. Oh, only an hour. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. You can make a prompt for Let's Talk. Oh, Kenny, that's a good idea. I'm gonna put that down. Let's talk command. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Kenny. I like that. Let's see. Fire's video, thank you for streaming. I have to take a friend. Oh, sounds good. Thank you so much, Della. Quick question: as I'm currently doing your origami room, I just bought the colors needed. I have a problem earlier with the magenta. It keeps breaking. What sharpener did you use before the Toggle? Sharpeners that I recommend. I've got a little drawer here. And I have a link for it. I have a link for it down below. Where is my doll? I put my doll away. But the doll 133 is good, but if it's Prismacolors, it's a little bit of a long point. The Norris is a good sharpener. This one is also good. And this is a brand new one that I got the other day. So it could be a number of things. It could be your blade is dull. It could be that the pencil did indeed get shattered. So, you know, leave it in the sun to heat up is always handy. But sometimes if you... Yeah, just a little snow sounds good, Kim. They still kept breaking. It might be the pencil then. Like, I hate to say that, but sometimes it's like that. I have a pink deco that the wood barrels practically split down the middle. So you could always try, if it's really continually breaking, you could try sandpaper. Sometimes I will put it in the doll. If like the little hand sharpener, if it's breaking too much, I'll put it in the doll and just sharpen the long point just long enough to where I can get past all the breakage. Then I try hand sharpening it again. But yeah, it's just, it's the frustration that is Prismacolor sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Annette. When was the last time you had snow? A couple of years ago, at least. We've been in this house for a couple years, and it has yet to snow at this house for the kids, which is why I was really hoping this year. You know, I don't know, maybe Mother Nature will still change your mind, but I don't know. Okay, we're gonna throw in some of this salmon. The girl can hope, though. It's been a while, but I mean, we live in Texas, so you know, it's not known for its snow. Watch it with no volume. How am I supposed to play words on stream? Yay! Thumbs up. Yeah, heating with an air dryer. Yeah, potentially. Just do whatever you do. Don't put it in the microwave. Oh, that was a snap! Exclamation point snap! Don't put it in the microwave, because if there's gold foiling on the pencil, it will set off sparks, and I don't know if it'll explode, but it's sure as heck not going to be good for your microwave. So, yeah, heating pad, sun, top of a dryer, whatever is going to get it. It's a wax-based core, so you know it may potentially fix itself. Mother Nature needs to take her meds up here. 60 last week, 22 and 4 inches of snow yesterday. Oh my goodness. Sounds good, Marcy. Yeah, well, we've had it before. I mean, heck, a few years ago we had the snowpocalypse. I mean, that was pretty gnarly, but yeah, it's just feeling emotional. Let's do beige red. Who's to say? Okay, I'm pressing a little bit harder now. Getting this last little kind of light color that's here. I mean, sometimes if you want to get these kind of real layered looks, you just have to take your time sometimes. Now, granted, this was a larger flower. I think, now I didn't record absolutely every part of me coloring the flower because I knew I was recording it for reels and I knew I was only planning on doing bits of it. So I didn't have the camera running for the entire time. But this flower, with the footage that I ended up with, even after stopping it a few times, was about 30 minutes. And you guys only ended up seeing like 15 seconds of it. But yeah, so it's normal for a flower like this to take a while. Okay, let's see. Let's do, what do I want to add onto it next? Because right now it looks a little flat still. We need to create a little bit more shadow on the left side to give it a little bit more, I can't think of the word right now. You know, a little bit, not body, not 3D. I can't think of the word. Are you gonna do all the flowers the same color? All of the big flowers will be the same color, yeah. And I know that this one looks a little bit more orangey, and it is just a tad, but it also has to do with the light that's shining on it. Okay, so we're gonna use actually a little bit of this Cold Gray 6. And we're just gonna add a little dimension. Dimension, that was the word I was looking for. Depth, yes, that's also, yes. Give it some body. This one down here at the bottom, I used a little bit, you know, you can see, I used a little bit of gray on it. But again, when we're getting the glare from the light, it doesn't really show its true colors. The song True Colors. That's something copyright. So I don't do like every single flower exactly the same. Part of it is because sometimes it's hard for me to remember exactly what order, unless I'm doing them, you know, like one right after the other. Sometimes it's hard to remember, so you just gotta kind of wing it on occasion. Fingers crossed. No. There we go, that's looking better. All right, let's go ahead and do the little bit of the outside. So let's grab, we're gonna grab the red violet. I'm gonna go just light, a little bit here. But yeah, there's a reason that I only took bits and pieces from it and then uploaded 15 seconds of this coloring of it, because although I'm mildly distracted when I stream, so I maybe don't go as fast as I would when I'm by myself, it is totally realistic for a flower to take this long. No two flowers are the same in nature. It's okay. Exactly. See? Oh no, Carol. Oh no. That's so sad. We're using beige red. I'm so sorry. Folded over portions of the leaves. What are these anyway? Would you call them peonies? I feel like they're peonies. If I were to guess, I'd say they were peonies. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more of the red violet. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. I bridge the two colors together. Okay, so now we're actually gonna sharpen this to a real fine point. Oh, Ed has a hack. Okay, sweet. Right, a little bit. I'm so sorry, Carol. Okay, so on the outside of this one, we see we've got a little bit of the red petals, and we're going to do that a little bit for this one. So we're going to, on the tip, we're going to do red violet. And you can tell the difference because the ones that are the petals are slightly more pointed, and the inside part is round. There we go. Okay, then let's go ahead and grab the beige red. Thanks, Megan! Oh no, you don't have a hack, I'm crying, oh no! Well, the Neos, are they like, because I don't have, those are just like the sticks, right? Do you use them dry or wet? Okay, so we're just using beige red. Okay, and then let's get a little bit of the pink carmine. They're wet. Well, technically, could you put them like in a pile, like you would almost like a dried watercolor, and then like put them in like a little, I don't know how much of it is. Aw, I love it, Dominique. Are you using the doll for the Polychromos? Sorry, I'm all about sharpeners today. I ordered to go, but it won't be here till next week. No, I went to Hobby Lobby the other day and just picked up this one because it had been so long since I've used. And so this is just the Prismacolor sharpener. And I am using the long point. Hang on. There we go. I'm using the long point for the Polychromos. You could use the shorter one too, but yeah, I'm just using the Prismacolor one today. Oh, it's so sad. I'm so sorry, Carol. All right, so this is the pink carmine. A little bit. There we go. All right, now we are going to use the burnt umber. And we're just kind of, it's not gonna be the same all the way around because I'm gonna have it'll be a little bit darker on the left side like I did on this one. We've got all these little individual sections here. So we're gonna start by pretty much the left side of all of these, adding the brown. We're still in frame, yes. Okay. Sorry, I'm going into concentration mode here. Let up a chat here in just a second. Can you put the segregated bits into little, oh, there you go, little spice tins. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, right, Annette? Like I have this whole, I even have like a bunch of random like little ones in here. I guess my sharpener drawer. Two more there. It's a party. Yeah, potentially. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and grab the dark cadmium yellow. And I'm just gonna fill that in completely. Quick and easy. Okay, now this is where we're add a little bit more depth to it. So now in this one, these were curved over a little bit more, so it was easier, but it's gonna be just a tad bit different on this side. Still darker on the left side, but still. So I know that we did it partially. Now it's like, oh, well, she's just going over with brown. Well, it has that undertone of the brown to it, or of the yellow. Okay. Do I want to go a little bit dark with that? I feel like I do. Let's grab, do I want walnut brown? Try not to use too many different colors. We're gonna grab just a little bit of the black. Okay. Around that left side. Really just kind of darken that up. I don't want it to be too muddy, which is ironic considering we're using brown. Okay. Let's get our burnt umber again. Only water medium I've successfully used. Oh, there you go. So the Frugal Crafter used a pencil sharpener on her neon tubes and put the shavings in a watercolor palette. Oh, yeah, Frugal Crafter. She's so good. Okay. Actually just started following Chloe Rose Art. I knew of her because I've watched Nerdy Crafter and Jazza. And they've done collaborations with her and everything. But I haven't ever watched her too much. Okay, so now we're gonna grab the green gold a little bit. And let's do a little bit of the, see every color that I have out, I know that I used at one point on it. Let's do a little bit of the Indian red. Let's do a little bit more of the burnt umber. Or sorry, that's walnut brown, but that'll be okay, that'll work. I'm feeling flexible. There you go. I want to do a little bit more black here. In fact, we're going to do a little bit onto the pink petals. There you go. All right, now let's get back our red violet. I want to bring this down here. I go back and forth on this stuff like a lot, despite the fact that I'm like, oh, this is how I colored it. Like a lot of it is me sitting back and going, what do I want to change now? I want to add a little bit of overlap, but not a ton. Darkness here. Still showing that that inner part of the petal is the darker part. Look up in chat here in just a second. I'm feeling pretty happy with that. Like I said, the color looks a little bit different. There we go. It's never exactly the same. I do kind of think, let's do a little bit. I swear that just looks like, I know it's the glare, but it does look a little bit cooler than I did on this one. We're gonna do a little bit of the, let's see, ivory, or do I want cream? I'm actually gonna get a little bit of cream. Do I have that out on? Wondering if I put it, okay. I had some in jars. All right, we'll use the ivory. Exclamation point snap. Like I said, I go back and forth like a lot about what it is that I want it to look like in the end. Aw, thanks. Is the Prismacolor sharpener any good for actual Prismacolors? Can you tell? I had a sharpener issue earlier today. Here's the thing that I feel like sharpeners. I think when you first buy a sharpener, most of the time, it's gonna work great. It's how the sharpener holds up over time. And I think for the Prismacolor sharpener, I think as long as it has a sharp blade, it's gonna work just fine. Because that was the deal with my electric dull sharpener, or electric Arteza sharpener I really liked. The blade got dull eventually, and that's when it started not working quite the way I wanted it to. So I think it has to do with how old it is. Some are legitimately not good, but yeah, and that's what I really like. I think one of the big differences, gosh, where did I put my dull sharpener? Oh, there it is. I hadn't been using it for this, so try not to get too much. Let's see. One of the big differences that can make on sharpeners is what it uses to sharpen. And this has like the old school blades like this. And I think that makes a big difference because if you look at something like this, yeah, exactly. Those are two very different types of sharpeners. I will say the dull, I've never had an issue with a blade getting dull the way that it works. Things like this will get dull pretty frequently. But one of the things I like about the Prismacolor one versus something like the Staedtler one, which I've talked about before. Yeah, exactly. So that's the only downside with the Staedtler sharpeners. So do you see the difference? And even on something like this one here. So here, let's get this in focus for you. Okay, on the blades, in comparison, like this is just, I don't even know what brand. I think this is just something random, something cheapo. But what you see for the difference being, do you see this little notch right here? It's got the little Staedtler imprint, but it's got this notch. Any other regular replacement blade that you're gonna get is going to be just normal and flat. You cannot use regular blades as a replacement in the Staedtler sharpeners. They work great and I love them, but you cannot easily replace the blades. Now, if you're replacing blades in sharpeners, one of the other things you need to make sure that you do, so they've got these little screws, and so any blade that you get is gonna have a little hole in the middle. When you replace the blade and you screw them back in, make sure that the blade is flush against this side, because if it is not, and it's angled even slightly, that's gonna mess up the way that you sharpen. So I think, like I said, with any sharpener, eventually it's going to get dull. Even if, yes, and you can clean it with a graphite pencil, but at some point it does actually get dull. Like I said, the electric one that I got from Arteza that had like the flat blade sharpener, it lasted for about 6-ish months before the blade started to get dull, and that was me using it really regularly. Right? I know. Yeah, I would say if you have the dull, give it a chance for sure. Let's use a little bit of coral. Oh, look, that's completely out of focus. Let's use a little bit of coral. I want to try and bring the oranginess back to this flower a little bit. I know it's not exactly the same, but you guys kind of get the idea of how it works to get this kind of look for the flowers. I am pressing fairly hard right now. Hang on one second. I'm just gonna sip of water here. Right, there you go. All right, so we're just using that coral a little bit. But, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be exact. And then let's use a little bit more of the cold gray, just to darken this up just a little bit more. I like it when my images still have a strong contrast. What are we doing on time anyway? 11:18? Oh my gosh. Taking so long on this one flower, but you know, sometimes you do what you gotta do. I know some people feel like, oh, well, am I taking too long? Should it be taking this long? Sometimes they just take a while to complete. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that flower. So, you know, that's how I did that. I might still go back and like try to make it a little bit more red. We're getting a little bit of a light glare, so it's not like the true, there, you see now it's got no light glare and it's not quite as different as the other one. But now, I'm gonna show you what I did. Oh wait, hang on, I missed. Hi Rihanna, welcome. You stick your tongue firmly in your cheek and squint to make the sharpener work. So for this background for the page, I have a couple of grays here. This is the warm gray 4 and the warm gray 3. And what I'm doing is I am just creating a drop shadow effect. So it's going to be a little bit darker, closer to the edge. And then I'm slowly going to fade it out. Now I'm trying to be consistent with where that drop shadow is. So where I'm trying to place it is on the majority of the right side of things. So here it would go to the right side there, right side, underneath this one here, but I would not put it on this side. I wouldn't even put it a ton on that side. The idea is the light is coming from this direction, and so it would be hitting these things and casting a little bit of a shadow on that side. So I'm not necessarily going to put a shadow here, but I will bring it down and put it here because it is to the right of that flower. I'm not doing a ton. It's literally like just a couple millimeters out. But I am using the warm gray 4. I don't want to go super dark, but I also don't want to look like the page is just dirty. And it's going to give it that slight kind of pop away from the edge. And amazingly, we are going to actually use a little bit of a bluish green color as well. I don't know how much difference it makes, but I like it. We're just going to do it to there. Normally I wait until I have the rest of all of that color, but we're just kind of rolling with this now. So warm gray 3. I'm not pressing very hard. I'm going very light. We're going to drag that out just a little bit further. Might even put just a little bit there. Okay, so we had warm gray 4 and now warm gray 3. And then we're actually going to use the blender on it as well. And you can always add more later if you feel like it's not standing out enough. Okay, oh, a little bit here too. Okay, now we're going to use our blender. I'm going to sharpen this on the shorter side because I do want a fine point, but I don't want to blow through a ton of it. Okay, so now, and again, I'm trying to be careful to not get the blender on areas that haven't been colored yet that are going to be colored. The background is perfectly safe to do that though, because the only background that I'm giving it is the drop shadow. In fact, I debated about doing a full colored background. Now, I know not all of you has this, so it's not going to be relevant to you, but if you're a person who has an iPad and has the program called Procreate, one of the things that I've done in the past is I bring the drawing into Procreate and I try to experiment with different backgrounds. In fact, let me grab it for you. So what I was able to do is I took a picture of this with just the camera on my iPad, and then I was able to take it into Photoshop because I have Photoshop because I've done photo editing and I do illustrating and oh, almost knocked that off, and everything, and it comes in handy. So let me show you what I did on here. If you are trying to figure out if a color would work or not on the back. So what I did is I brought it into Photoshop and I removed, you can just select and remove all of the space here in the back. Hang on, I'm gonna just make sure that we're good here. Okay, so what I have here is the image that I took a picture. You can see it here. This was from when I colored the first flower, and I have the background that is different. Let me zoom in here for you so you can see. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in There we go. All right, so you can see this is what I did here. So now I'm gonna go to my layers, which is here. I'm gonna click the background layer, and from here, I can drag this along and change the background to a color that I think would work, because I was debating about like doing a teal, but one of the issues with the leaf, because it's green, it's like, okay, well, is it gonna pop? Can you do the same thing with Procreate? I think you can. It might just take longer, because once you have the image up here, so I just put the actual, so you create a document and then you add the photo to here, and then what you can do is you can select automatic. Oh, sorry, I know you can't see the whole thing. You select this little S shape up here and you hit automatic. And then what you can do is you can select areas and it selects the whole thing. And then from there, you can erase what's in that area. I just did it in Photoshop because I'm more familiar with it, and that's how I know how to use it. And I'm like, I can just do it quicker if I do it here. So, but yeah, you could select the background color and then like use the slider and be like, oh, well, would this look good with a purple background? Would this look good with a dark blue background? Heck, would it look good with a black background? So it's a great way if you're just trying to, right? Yes, it's so handy. And you're just trying to visualize, like, could this color work? Like, obviously, this color would not work at all because that's clashing horribly with the red of it. If you wanted to, like, let's say you wanted to do the same red that's on your flower, what you can do is go ahead and create another layer, drag and drop that layer, okay? And then what you want to do is, because this is underneath of it, because right now all of the space behind it is empty, what you can do is you close your layers. I use my finger because since I shake, I have a hard time grabbing the color with the pen. I eyedropper a color from the flower like that, so I've grabbed it. Yeah, it's super handy. Maybe one of these days I can do a Procreate tutorial-ish. Maybe we can do a live stream with Procreate. Anyway, so I've got this as my top layer. This is blank, my second layer. So now I can go into the brushes, grab the painting brush because I just want something big. I can drag it up large so that it is a large brush. Sorry, I also have this kind of zoomed in because if I'm gonna get a phone call or text, it's gonna come through on my iPad too. So if I do this, I'm gonna arrange it so that it's not gonna show when I get messages. Now I can just color in the whole background, and there's that color, and it's the exact red that I grabbed from the flower. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you're struggling with visualizing what your background is going to look like, that's a handy way to go ahead and do that. So sometimes if I'm just like really not feeling, and I'm like, how can I make this look the way I want it to? That is the method that I use for that. Anyway, so that is the drop shadow for the flower too. But yeah, maybe one of these days we'll do a Procreate thing, or maybe I'll just do it in a video. That way, if I'm not doing it live, a message pops up from like my mother or something. It's like, oh well, that's Emily's mother's phone number. That's fantastic. Or maybe turn the Wi-Fi off on the iPad so it doesn't come up. Let's see. I haven't done any of the butterflies yet, but why don't I do one of these flowers so you can see what I did for the purple color? Airplane mode, yes, that would be good. Okay, so I'm gonna grab mauve, which is what I used for this. A video Procreate. Yeah, I wondered about that. I know, like, if I were to put a Procreate up there, I know that it wouldn't be super popular because not everybody has it, but I could make a video that's like coloring hacks that I use, you know, my iPad for or whatever else. Yeah, because, hi Hannah, instant coloring, right? So that's the thing, is like sometimes it doesn't select like everything. Sometimes you can redraw the whole thing, which is what I've done, and that takes a while. But I find that I don't color digitally unless I'm doing illustrations very often, because I once did it with the toucan page in Magical Jungle. And here's the thing, is that when you're digitally coloring, you can zoom in on it and it gets really close, but all of a sudden it's like the page is larger, so it almost takes you longer to complete because of that. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and use light red violet. In fact, I think I've still got that on my iPad from when I completed that picture. I'll show it to you. I think I posted it on Instagram as well. But here's the thing, is that when it comes to digital coloring, Like, I've known people that have gotten significantly harassed by other people because they say that digital coloring isn't real coloring. I think of it this way. For me personally, I rarely draw with a pencil and eraser these days, unless I'm sketching an idea out, and I keep a little drawing pad notebook with me. If I've got an idea for a sticker or whatever else, I'll do a quick sketch so that I don't forget it later. But for me personally, I draw most everything digitally, except for like when I add shading and everything. I'm going back to mauve. And part of that is because of my tremors. Like, I struggle to draw a straight line, but with Procreate, it can compensate for that. So I don't feel like it's very fair when people harp on people for digital stuff. Now, that being said, it is not considered the same as AI art. And I know there's been a lot of talk about AI art, and I haven't said a ton about it, but I'll be perfectly honest. I do not like it. And there's a couple reasons why. And first of all, the main reason is what everybody else has been saying. The AI art is sourced from other artists online, which means their work is taken without their permission and used into something that's super easy. But even all that aside, from an illustrator's perspective, like I was on Etsy the other day, and I was looking at some coloring pages and everything. I'm using beige red. And I saw this image that I was just like, dang, man, how did she do that? Why is it I can't get mine to look like that? And then you know what? I was looking closer at it, and the person had like 7 fingers on one hand. And it's getting to be, if you've got a trained eye, you can recognize it. But the problem is they are not saying that it is AI art. They are claiming that they are drawing it themselves, which really does a disservice to the rest of us that are working hard to practice and everything and coming out with stuff that doesn't look like this stuff. And it's just like, well, why can't I do that? It's not giving us a fair shake because we are humans, and as humans, we are limited. And then these people are just pumping out page after page after page, and they're selling page after page after page, but they're claiming that they drew it themselves when in reality, it was done by AI art. And that's when I think it's not fair. Now, are there some artists out there that are, I'm using mauve again, that are getting unfair like biases, thinking, oh, there's this AI, so we're not going to buy it. Don't harp on anyone for doing that unless you know for a fact. Like, obvious things to look out for. There was one that I saw the other day where, because hands are a struggle for AI art. Yeah, it's distorted. Yeah. And there was one that I saw where the character was rendered and the hand was on the skirt of her dress, and it was like drawn into the skirt, like it didn't separate. And so those things are very clear that it's AI art. But when they're stating like, oh, I drew this wonderful thing, it's like, you didn't draw it. Like, a robot drew it. And that's just making it, I don't know. Like, I try not to be a jealous person. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. You know, everybody has their own story. But when you have somebody who is basically cheating and using AI and claiming it as they've drawn it themselves, it just kind of puts a sour taste in my mouth. And it's not fair. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly, Annie. What's even worse is that everything collected from past artists' work. And yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, count the fingers. That's a big thing. Other things that I've noticed, I'm using walnut brown, is when the head doesn't quite match with the hair, and it almost looks like, you know, a wig was slapped on and it doesn't quite fit them right. Yeah, in reference to AI art. Yeah, and toes, count the fingers, count the toes. Even look at the eyes. Sometimes AI art has a hard time doing pupils in eyes. No, it's really not. Yeah, so Jazza, I'm using dark cadmium yellow. Jazza has talked about using AI art, and he feels like it can be useful in a way if you are enhancing your artwork that's already there. All right, so we're using green gold now. And I know it's almost like at this point, you know, beating a dead horse with a stick. I think that's the right thing, where you're just like, everybody's talking about it. But the fact of the matter is, it's frustrating because you know it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So at some point, I have to make my peace with it and just, you know, hope that, using deep cobalt green, that those who value art by artists will continue to purchase said art by artists. But, you know, for somebody, if you're an illustrator who does work for a company And now the company's just like, oh, it'd be so much easier to just do the AI art. Sure, it's gonna be easier and cheaper, but I don't know. It definitely puts a damper on things, and it is frustrating. You know, some people don't know that it's AI art for sure, and so you can't really blame them for that. But I think more than anything, it's one thing if you claim, hey, this is AI art. Then people go in knowing they're buying a computer-generated image. Yes, exactly, Durbin, yeah. See, that's the thing. If it acknowledges that it's AI art, fight on, so I can teach how to use it further. Yes, right? Yeah, Procreate is amazing. Most of my Illustrator friends, if they're doing it on iPad, they're using Procreate. I'm by no means an expert on it, but I do use it for my illustrations. If they are, let's see, we're using chrome oxide green. That's the other thing, is I'm not using the same green pattern on all the leaves. They're all kind of different. If they share and they say, yes, this is in fact AI art, then that's fine, because people know what they're getting and they are aware that, hey, this is AI generated. But it's when they claim that this is their original drawings and that they're an illustrator. I don't really count people who do AI art as illustrators. I would count them as computer programmers than illustrators, because you could find somebody that has absolutely zero talent in art except for just typing in the right prompts for the computer, and boom, they've got art. They didn't draw that. They didn't spend the time, you know, learning how to draw or using permanent green and all of that, going to school, whatever else. They typed a couple words into the computer and then claimed it as their own, and it's just, it's not fair and it's not cool. Anyway, that's my soapbox rant. I know I don't tend to talk about too much, like, I guess, quote unquote heavy stuff on here, but we're gonna use light green. Lately, AI art has just been rubbing me the wrong way, and I'm just like, it's not cool, man, to claim that it was you when it wasn't you. That's all. I'll stop now. Anyway, how about them Niners? All right, so that's one of the purple flowers. Let's go down and do one of these little blossoms down here by the bee. Well, good, I'm glad. Like, I don't want to make any mad. I feel so bad. Does anybody else follow Color It In on Facebook? She kind of is like a coloring news channel. She lets people know when, you know, artists on her list come out with new pages, all that kind of stuff. And she's really been struggling over there. Middle Purple Pink. Just because people have been really getting on her about defending, you know, there you go. She's just been trying to explain people why AI, basically what I just said, you know, why it's not fair to other illustrators, you know, not to support it, that kind of thing. And she has just been having a rough time over there with comments and everything. I find it so interesting when she posts and says that, you know, somebody messaged her and was really, you know, like, oh, well, why didn't you share this? Or why aren't you sharing that? Or whatever else. And like, I feel bad because she is just an informative, you know, Facebook page. Take it as it is. And like that people are getting upset with her for sharing or not sharing things. Like, well, if you want to share things, why don't you make your own page and share your stuff? You know, like, it doesn't feel good to have somebody message you and like get angry at you for something that you really shouldn't even be getting in trouble for or whatever else. And that's just like, it's not fair. It's called Color It In. Is it a group or a page? It's a page, and it's COLOURITINN, I believe. I think it's all one word. I don't know. One of the mods want to grab a link to her Facebook page. I'd like to follow it because she's always posting, you know, illustrators and new pages and news and everything else. But I just feel bad that she gets messages and every now and then, you know, I'll get a message from someone, or I'll get a comment that's not super awesome. But thankfully for the most part, the community is, or at least from what I've experienced, the community is pretty chill. But every now and then. Yeah, that's it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I like following her stuff. I'm honestly surprised she doesn't have more followers. She's posted some pretty helpful stuff. She's got like 2,000 or 3,000 followers on Facebook. I don't remember. She's also on Instagram, but that's mostly to post her own colorings. Yeah, I was wondering what she meant by AI. So yeah, artificial intelligence art. Basically, so we're going to use Coral now. These programs have come out where you can put in your prompts and you can put like girl holding a flower, smiling in a field. And then what happens is the generated program will take samples from other artists around. Basically, if at any point you have posted a drawing online, that automatically goes into the database of whatever it would draw from. Basically, the AI pulls from anywhere on the internet and uses those references to make an image. And so that's where a lot of people are getting upset, because it's basically like stealing from the artist, because A, the artist isn't getting credited, and B, people are reselling it as original art that's their own, when in fact, yeah, it's basically plagiarism. Yeah. But Chat GPT and plagiarism higher ed. Yes, exactly. See, we're gonna use Ivory. I hate to say it, but I don't think AI art is gonna go anywhere. It's kind of like when Facebook or Instagram changes its UI, its user interface, and everything's different and you have to relearn it, and everybody gets really upset for a while and makes a big deal out of it, but then eventually it accepts it, just because, you know, because who here remembers, you know, how the layout for Facebook used to be? I certainly don't. And I've been here since, you know, Facebook began. Eventually, you just have to accept it, and it is what it is, which I think is going to be the case for AI art. I think it's not going anywhere, but what I do think we need is a bit more honesty when it comes to it. If you use AI art to generate your art, then you need to state that it is, in fact, generated by AI. Because it sets the bar unfairly to the rest of the people. Is it color it in? Yeah, but I think it's spelled like this. COLOURITINN. I believe that's how it's spelled on Facebook. Yeah. For AI, it's a bit more deep. Yes, so for people that are straight up digital artists, especially that like draw and complete their illustrations from start to finish. I'm using red violet digitally. Yeah, it's hurting them a lot. Websites like Fiverr, Fiverr, that's where a lot of people go to commission artists to draw digital art for them. And already there were people on there that, you know, took things from Google or whatever else that wasn't legitimately, you know, their original drawing. And now it's worse because they are drawing from AI art. And it's just, yeah. I think that eventually this will all blow over and people will learn to train their eye to recognize digital art versus that. But in the meantime, when everything's still kind of up in the air, we're using beige red now. It's tough because people aren't at the point yet where we can, unless you are working on it like on a regular basis, we're not at the point where we can recognize what's AI art and what's real art. Is Coral drawing considered an AI? I'm not sure what Coral is. Remarkably flooded with really bad quality crapbox pages for a while, but I think if you're good enough, you can still, yes, that's the other thing is, deviant art. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The people are at the hand. Yeah, the hands have 6 fingers. Yeah, hands and feet are all over the place. So if you are looking at things that I look out for, if I'm on Etsy and trying to recognize if something is digital art, I won't show any examples right now because like I don't want to call out any artists and you know I don't want to put a target on my back. But if you are looking for things to try, I'm using walnut brown. Try and recognize what is AI art and what is not. Look for the fingers, look for the toes, look for, like I said, where it looks like the hair is kind of like a wig and it's not sitting on straight. Look for pupils to make sure those look okay. Also, things that are heavily digitized shading. Not like Daria. Darias are all good, but something that, if you can tell that it has pencil shading, like Christine Karen obviously has physical pencil shading on hers. Like that's obviously, yeah. And too many teeth. You should, Philly, absolutely. Yeah, bad hairlines. Oh, Coral's an editing program. It doesn't do the, oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Coral. Okay, so now we're gonna do red violet. So there are things that you can look out for. And once you see, unless it's an artist who specifically, you know, like draws crazy things where the characters have multiple fingers, you start to get a trained eye for it. And that's the multiple fingers, multiple toes, things aren't quite right. Those are usually signs. And, you know, don't automatically go blast someone, but just if you look at an artist illustrations and most of them look funky and you're like, ooh, you know what? I bet you that's digital art. Then people are going to come at me for this. But I would say rather than, you know, calling them out or whatever, just choose to support someone that you know hand draws them, or feel free to purchase it if they announce that it's AIR. Like I said, when I'm using middle purple pink. When it's something that irks me, it's when they claim that they drew it, but it is AR. When they're, you know, it's not truthful. That's all. Yeah, freckles look more like acne. Exactly. Ah, yeah, it's great. Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Sherry. Yeah, she has a video. Yeah, basically buyer beware. That's all. It's just supporting and appreciating the artist that put the hard work behind it rather than someone clicking a couple buttons, having it magically handed to them. It's like someone who cheats on a test. Okay, so you have this big test that's a big part of your grade, okay? And you have one student who has studied so hard, just so hard, and they get like an A-, okay? They've studied, they've worked on it really hard, and they get an A-. Then you got this person that comes in, somehow sneakily has the answers all written on their arm, and they get an A+ and get praised for the A+, while the other student's like, oh man, I didn't do that great. Well, the person who got the A+, they had the answers written all over their arm, that's why. So it's basically, I consider it a form of cheating. That's what it is. And if you're not announcing that it is in fact AIR, it's just not fair to the artist who put the time in their life to learn a craft. Yeah, well, in Amazon books, I mean, anybody can publish and print, you know, Amazon books at all. So, you know, double check, you know, if it's an artist you're familiar with, like, you know, the little town books, those have been around for ages. You know, those aren't AI art. So it's just, you know, getting a trained eye on the situation. I'm gonna use salmon now. Like, I'm not harping on anyone. Like, I can't think of any names specifically, but are there times when I'm on Etsy and I start to feel bad about my own skill? And then I realize, oh wait, this illustration has 10 fingers. Okay, maybe I don't feel as bad about not being able to recreate this. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some amazing artists out there that can create just mind-blowing things. And they put in the time and effort to learn how to do that and to become proficient and skilled at what they do. And so, you know, jealousy is never a reason to do it, but is there a tiny part of me sometimes that goes, dang, man, I wish I could learn how to do that. But it's not that it makes me like angry jealous. It's in the sense that it's like, okay, this gives me something to reach for. This can be my goal. I would love it if my drawings could get to this stage. All right. So now I'm going to evaluate, what can I do to improve in this area of my drawings? And I feel like that's what I've been working on lately when it comes to portraits. I mean, you look at some people drawings that I have from a couple years ago, and I'd like to think that it has improved. And part of that is being inspired and seeing what, you know, other people do on, you know, on their pages and think, okay, how can I adapt this to work for my skill level? How can I improve on what I have learned so far? That kind of thing. American copyright laws and digital rights laws are very behind. Intellectual property laws is not keeping up with the technologies. And then, oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, anyway, there's, you know, there's all kinds of skill levels in the world. Like I always say, comparison is the thief of joy. But if you're taking what you're seeing and you're learning from it rather than just being like, oh, well, I'll never be that good and give up. Like, that's not the right mindset to have. If you legitimately want to get better at something, you know, use inspiration from other artists and just be like, all right, this is good. I can, you know, work on this and, you know, hopefully change this about this and then, you know, roll with it. It's like tracing is a tool, but some people straight up steal and claim as their own. I trace designs for like flowers and stuff to learn. Yeah, see, there you go, Kenny. All right, so we're gonna use May Green. What time is it anyway? 11:48 already. Well, let's finish up these leaves and then we can do some words on stream. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was a bit heavier than what we usually talk about, so I apologize. It's just been something I've been thinking about for a while, and when you see it more and more, it's definitely taking over the art community a bit. All right, light phthalo green. And then let's use a little bit of magenta. Right, the little door, it's so cute. Which is so hilarious, Aaron, because you would be amazed like what people try to plagiarize for school. Like buying papers, finished school papers online. That's a thing. I was just like, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of going to college and learning things? All right, there we go. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight to how I got these flowers. This one, I think I was too focused. I think I got too many close lines to the middle. This one I allowed for, this one and this one, I allowed for a little bit more of the lighter color. But, you know, just take the time and work on it. You shall not pass. That's hilarious. Yeah, see, so that's what I had to do, Ev, is I had to work really hard to make sure that my stuff wasn't looking like Johanna's, because I have been coloring her stuff for so long. I'm any images that I have drawn that came out looking in her style, I just gave for free. I can't, am I right? I can't, I feel like I can't sell something that looks so blatantly like hers. It's not, you know, exactly like hers, but also when you look at the how to draw book, like it's just, it's a fine line. So if I come out with a drawing that does not look like my original idea, I do not charge for it at all. Aw, thanks. Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead. Let's pause our music here and let's see if Words on Stream is gonna work for us today, shall we? All right, so let's go. Let's turn on the sound. Okay, fingers crossed, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, and this is just a one-off for this because, like I said, we're going to be starting February on Friday. So there's going to be giveaways and discounts and all the good stuff. And not just my store. Like I said, there's going to be discounts for all the other illustrators involved also. Thanks, Carol. Yay! Thank you, Tina. All right, let's switch on over. Fingers crossed, everyone. Okay, so we've got to level 27. Level 27, so let's give this a shot. Please work today. That'd be amazing. All right, so let's try. Is it gonna work? Oh, yes, it's working today. Okay, cool. All right, so if you have not played before, this is a color mixing game. You can just type it in chat to play. Oh, why did I put opera? Dropper. Nice, Aaron. You can just type it into chat and that will play the game. You don't need to do the QR code or anything. And yeah, we've gotten up to level 27, so that's our goal. Right around level 28 is when it gets a little bit more difficult. Let's see. Crop. Is porp a word? Like a porpoise? Propped. ED. That's gotta have two P's, right? 20 answers before I can even see the game. Oh no! Well, make sure, anybody that's playing, make sure that your little red line is all the way to the right. Or if you're on like a digital device, then you can like tap to the right and that'll get you all caught up. I kind of like having that little camera to the right because then you can kind of see what we were doing still. Let's see. Let's see, pour. There's not two O's. Did we do droop? No, droop is two O's. That's drope. Let's see. Prep, prod, crop, road, rope. What about R-O-E-D? That's good though. We got 120. Ooh, redo. Nice, Holly. Very nice. Yay, makes me so glad when Words on Stream works. Only twice now has it not worked, but. All right, continue. RN first, followed closely by Annette and Lisa. Look at that, 22 and 21. Dope. That's dope. Okay, so there are no hidden letters. There are no fake letters. It's a lot of eyes. A lot of eyes. What about... wow, what is that? Time, initiate. Oh, nice, Durbin. Oh yeah, also Durbin's really good at this game. What about T-A-T-E? Titan. Nice, Shannon. Let's see, Tine. T-A-I-N, maybe? Ooh, what about ain't? Ain't a word. Auntie, nice. Oh. Ev, I'm disappointed you didn't get this one. That's your word. Let's see. Neat. How about just T-E-I-N? There we go. Let's see, there's still a 6-letter word. Time, tatine. I don't know what it is. I've said it a million times, but I still wish they would show us the word at the end. Eaten with an I? I don't know. I don't know what those last two are. Do I sometimes go back and try and figure out what the words? Absolutely I do. All right, skip 2 levels. So we have RN. Oh, for that particular level, we have Durbin, RN, and Shannon, and then total ranking is RN, Annette, and Hannah. Very nice. Let's see. Still no hidden letters or fake letters. Visible. Steve! I didn't even have a chance, man. Let's see. Vibe. Or vibes. Yeah. Is vials? Vials? Are those all plural? Vibes. What about vials? Vials. Veils, okay. Ooh, vials was a word. Sweet. Let's see. I already did veil. Oh, what about vise? There we go. Oh wait, so there's still another V word. Huh. I would assume that it's a VI word, but what else could there be? V-I-E-L. V-I-E... Oh, vice! Oh no, that's probably vise, not vice. Vice is with a C, that's vise. I still don't know what that means. What about I-L-I-S? Or it could start with an E. Libs! Mad libs! What about leaves? Leaves. Ooh, lays. All right. This one should get us to skip 3 levels, though. Ibis. I wonder what that is. It's like iris. Or maybe it's ibis. Interesting. Like with the B, it makes you want to pronounce it differently. I mean, with an R, it's iris, but it's not ibis. Could be ibis, but I'd feel weird saying ibis. You're good, Ev. I'm feeling the same way. Okie dokie. All right, there is a fake letter on this one. What about mole? I know that's a word. Okay. So the fake letter is either going to be the M, the O, the L, or the E. So the Y must be real. Like be employed. Liar. There we go. Okay, so it's got to be either the M or the O. I'm gonna guess the M. What about roll? Did we already try roll? Yeah, we already. Okay, I'm thinking it's the O then. What about Meyer? Myler. Yeah, I think the O is fake. Rely. Oh, what about lime? No, lime is with an I. I was thinking Lyme disease. Merely. Holly, nice. Okay, so the O is definitely the fake. That's rough. See, I wanted to use the O right there, but Leary. So there's gonna be another I. What about E-Y-R-E? Jane Eyre. Emer. There's another 5-letter word and a 4-letter word. Ely. Oh, Ely? Ely. I'm wondering. What about R-E-E-L-Y? M-E-E-L-Y? Limer. Dang, who would have thunk? No O. Okie dokie, skip 3 levels, which brings us to level 12. Durban, number 1, Deborah and Holly. Good job. All right, there is a fake letter. About clues. Oh, Melissa got clues. What about clued? Uncles, nice. I think the D is the fake letter. Yeah. Okay, what about sluice? Oh no, there's no more 5 letters. So it's gonna be nucleus. Nice, Annie. So yes, the D is the fake letter. Okay, so the rest of them are all 4-letter words. Loon, there you go. About kill, maybe? Unce. Is unce a word? Slew, lens. Oh my gosh, we only need 1 more and we'll clear the board. Cune? I don't know, man, that's hard. Maybe a C or an L. I wanted to go dunce, but that's not right. It's funny that the fake letters have been such obvious, like such normal letters. Alrighty. Oh no, Annie. I mean, I can't judge at all because I'm not gonna lie, you guys. The other day, I was going somewhere that had a lot of complicated one-way roads, and I got lost, and the kids were in the back seat, and I had to call Steve to try and help him direct me out of it. Fake letter and hidden letter, by the way. And without thinking, I may have said a few choice words, and then after everything was calmed down, I had to say, just whatever you heard, don't repeat any of the words Mommy just said. And they're like, okay, so far so good. But yeah, it happens. Beep, I like it. So the P is the fake letter and the S is the hidden letter. So read? So no P, ooh, beers. So yeah, you're not alone in that. Usually I'm pretty good, and the kids are old enough now to understand not to repeat what Mommy says. I very rarely say bad words around them, but yeah. It's like, well, that was a mistake. Berms. Wait, what's a berm? Now I'm curious. The kids have accidentally said them by themselves when they played like a rhyming game where they tried, or like they chose a word like, you know, ditch, and started just saying words with different starting words, you know, like ditch and witch and banana. Well, Alex, that one wouldn't work because there's no P, although it's a legitimate guess. Or well, no, I'll keep saying that I'll accidentally say the wrong word, but yes, there are a number of words that can come out of here. And then you have to try not to laugh. Shit. Hidden letter and fake letter. I'm gonna guess the J. It doesn't seem like it fits. Delish. Duels, yep. What about lush? No, it's all 5-letter words. It's all 5-letter words. It is a word. You are correct. It is a medically correct word. Oh, elude. That's good. Oh, what about seclude? Seclude. It's a C. It's a C. The hidden letter is a C. The fake letter is pretty sure it's a J. Okay, so if it's a C, that schedule. You say schedule or schedule? Like a SH. Schedule. Let's see. Duels. What about heeds? No, that's heads. Heeds. Yeah, yay. But we still gotta get to 118. What about let's see. If it's a C, what about clutch? Is clutch a word? What about CEDEX? Ah, seeds. We can do it, guys. We can do it. We do suede already? Ooh, someone do suede. Oh, I did suede. Okay, perfect. Suede, bleach. Oh my gosh, we just need like one more. Bird lady. Welcome, welcome. No, it's okay. We're gonna go again. 18, man. 18 is kind of where it starts to get kind of difficult. We're gonna go again. It's only 12:06. We're good. We're good. All right, restart. Yeah, boo. All right, there is no hidden letter. There is no fake letter. So I'm gonna go with iced. Sign, dice, dine, induced. Oh my gosh, you guys are so fast. What about Sheila? It's Sheila. It's Sheila. Oh my gosh. I always giggle when there's words like that. Yes, I'm 12. Let's see. Dunce. Dude. Have we done dude? Dude. Sweet. Just been watching the background. I love it. Well, you are welcome to chat anytime because you are 5. Absolutely, I am. And that is okay. Man, normalize being immature. That's what we gotta do. Let's see. You're only as old as you feel, right? So there's no more 4-letter words available, 2 more 5-letter words, and 1 more 6-letter word. About... Okay. Is nuded a word? Just throwing that one. I can't spell. Like my hands don't want me to put that in there. Endued. Interesting. Indue. That'll do it. All right, so we have 1 more 5-letter word. 1 more 5-letter word. It's gonna start with either an I, an N, or a U. Undid. Yeah, undid. Cleared the word. Durbin. Nuded. Noodles. That's what that is. You're good, Leslie. You're in good company. All right, no fake letters, no hidden letters. I know this word, but it wouldn't be fair for me because I see it before you guys. There you go. Exceed. Exceeds. There it is. What about C-E-D-E? That one might. Oh wait, Annette already got that one. Secede. I'd say that 10 times. Secede. Sailor went to see to see what he could see. What about E-X-E-D? Okay, that is not a word. What about D's? Exec. Ooh, nice. Ooh, what about execs? Yay! I only got that one because of Annie. Those points for that one should not go to me. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I suppose that's a word. Leslie, C? With all the E's. C! Really emphasized seed. Seed! Dexes. Okay, I don't know what that word is. All right, Durbin and Oren. All right, so we have a fake letter. That is a lot of letters. Gents. What sentence? Holly, you're so fast! Okay, so the G is the fake letter. Oh my gosh, you guys are so fast. Tense with a C. Ink tense. Scene. Holy heck, you guys are so fast. Oh, scene. Yeah. What about C-E-T-E? Can't put it in yet. No, that wouldn't be a word then, because there's no more room for it. So the last one is gonna start with an N or an S. S-E-E-T? N-E-E-S? N-E-E-T? E-N-T-S? No, that wouldn't be that, because there's no space for it. But N-E-S-E. S-E-E-C? Sicked! Nice, Aaron. You guys are just clearing the board. Oh my goodness. Skip through levels. Level 10. Holly and Durbin, #1 spot. I'm catching up on you, Durbin, though. 1 point behind. All right, fake letter. No hidden letter. I'm gonna guess... wing. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that it's the J. Wedding. Yeah. Okay, so the J is the fake letter. Okay, winded. Very nice. What about wined? Oh, we already got wined. Never mind. Wined and dined. D-wing. To wing or not to doing? Let's see. Did we already do wind? Yeah, we did wind. Let's see. Widen. Ding. What about Eind? Wend. Okay, so this top one's gonna start with a D. D-E-N-G. D-E-I-N. Oh, died, of course. Why didn't I think of that? I'm over here mixing up letters. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that, yeah, the other 5-letter word is gonna start with, oh, dinge. Oh wait, Leslie already got dinge. Dinge should be a word. Okay, so what about Dined. D-I-G-E-D. Dane, Annie, nice. Good job. All right, level 13, Annie and Oren. Very nice. All right, hidden letter and fake letter. That's not very many letters. Acre. Race, yep, acre. So the J is the fake. A lot of J's for fake letters. Acres with an S. What does it unlocks me? Or someone else wants to? Leslie. Okay, acres. No, okay. What about Grace with a G? Or Trace with a T? Or Brace with a B? Or maybe a Z? Craze? Gosh. What about... Brace... Hey, let's see, great. I don't know. What is the hidden letter? Raced, rage, reach? Oh yeah, maybe reach. Well, I guess you're putting it with the question mark, so it should have gone in there. What about level 13? Well, a little tough here. Creek? Okay. Crepe. It's a P. It's a P. Pear. Pear. P-A-R-E. P-A-R-E. Carp. C-A-R-P. C-A-R-P. Carp. Oh no, are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? One more word. Yeah, caper. Nice, Annie. That was hard. That one was way too hard. A P. Who'd have thought? Who uses the letter P anyway? All right, so hidden letter and fake letter. The Q might not necessarily be the fake letter because there is a U. Sales, sale. Lass. Oh, quail. Quail didn't go through, so it's gonna be the U or the Q. Probably the Q. But lasso. Quasi. Yeah, because it would be the Q or the U if quail were. Ales. What about alas? Maybe it's another A. Huh. Surprisingly difficult. What about alias? Oh, now I'm really thinking. Dominique, fail. That's fair. It could be enough. It could be enough. A V? Veils? Sissel? Oh, is a veil? No. What is the word? What is the 7-letter word? I don't even know. Vials? Oh my gosh. Visuals. Ah, why didn't it count that? That's totally a word, Annie. That was rough, man. What level was that? That was level 14. That was a hard round. That was really hard. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Hang on, I gotta bring this. Window over here. Rough, man. Just fixing things now. Okay, let's see. Let's turn that back there. Right, Annie? I know the fact that I used to say, oh, we're gonna do this to wind down. No, we're not winding down with this. There's no winding down with that's Spanish for we suck. Yeah, Bird. So if you type it in chat, it'll come up in the game. So that's the way no one has to log in for it at all. But we L sucketh. Oh, man. All right, everyone. Right, it is easier with the QR code because it reacts so much faster, but yeah. All right, well, so, I know, right, F? So this was just a one-off for today. I'm gonna finish this maybe someday on my own. But starting Friday, okay, so keep an eye out for those sales on Friday because that is gonna be the kickoff for February. Like I said, I'll try to pull together a list of all the illustrators involved so you can find all their stores. If you are not following Monarch Coloring Events, I believe is what it's called. And gosh, there's another one. If you go to the description of my video that I have scheduled for Friday, you will see the links to the Facebook group so you can follow that has all the information for the February streams. Okay, so new coloring pages, discounts, giveaways, all the works coming up this Friday. So be sure to tune in. And with that, I'm gonna head on out, everybody. Keep being awesome, and I will chat with you later. Bye.